You are welcome back to African Colonization TV. Here we'll give you everything, every report happening in Nigeria, Biafra, and things happening around the world. This is happening live in US Congress House, where the congressmen they are discussing heavily against the Christian genocide that is going on in Nigeria. Mostly this issue of the aid they used to send to Nigeria, that they are going to, in fact, they have already stopped it as it is now until Tinubu do the needful, and the injustice that is going on in the country. In fact, in this video is full of a lot of information to share with you. Don't skip any part of it. Make sure you watch it to the end, and so that you will understand what is really going on around the world. So as you can see, since Donald Trump sent back his army back to the US, they don't understand that the war has not ended. But what is there is that the government of Nigeria, they bribe them, they bribe Washington, and lobby them to the extent that they are paid a very huge amount of money to Washington, so that they will close the case. And we also give you a report concerning the in-law of Donald Trump, how he connive with the Nigerian government and also manipulate Donald Trump to the extent that he thought that this issue of terrorism has ended because of one of the his leader, one of their big leader in Nigeria. So after they buy him, then he thought that that was the end of it. That the person is the person that is disturbing the country, but I don't know that a lot is happening in the country. But so as you can see, a lot of things is going on. Since the debate of Nigerian in UN, United Nations, and also the debate of Nigeria in Congress House. So many people, they are now coming up against what is going on in Nigeria. In fact, just watch it by yourself so that you will understand what is going on. As you're about to watch, like, subscribe, and share for everyone to see things happening in the country.
Home and do plus and minus, any other means, any other method they feel that they are going to use to come in Nigeria and put an end to the genocide, they should bring it back to Donald Trump and also to the Congress House. They should come and discuss it with the US Congress. So guys, I'm going to allow you to hear directly from this said congressman, Gregory Stube, who stood his ground and said, no more US aid to Nigeria until Nigeria do the needful, end the genocide. After hearing from him, we'll go hear people's reaction. Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ngozi Obasanjo's reaction about this.
Speaker, I rise in strong support for my amendment to increase the withholding threshold for assistance to Nigeria from 50% to 100%, while keeping in place benchmarks that demand Nigeria take effective steps to address the violence and persecution that continue to devastate the country. Nigeria has faced a horrific wave of violence that its corrupt government has failed to address. For years, and especially in recent months, Christians and other religious minorities in Nigeria have been subjected to violence and terrorism at the hands of extremists operating with impunity. Christian women and girls continue to be abducted, assaulted, tortured, and killed. Their churches are burned, and entire communities are erased. If the aid conditions included in the bill are important enough to withhold half of all the funding to the Nigerian government, then they are important enough to withhold all of the funding. The generosity of our taxpayers is a reflection of the American values we hold so firmly. Never should we allow their hard-earned tax dollars to be funneled to corrupt regimes that fail to uphold religious freedom, fail to adequately confront terrorism, and fail to protect the innocent from persecution. So why are we rewarding a government that fails to meet such a basic obligation? This amendment is simple. It does not remove the aid conditions in the bill, but only strengthens such conditions. But most importantly, it upholds a principle that all recipients of American taxpayer assistance should follow, that they must prove they are willing and able to respond to violence before receiving any funding. Simply put, meet the standard before receiving support. That is the accountability the American taxpayer deserves. Foreign aid should never be a reward for failure. So as our national debt is fast approaching $40 trillion, why on earth are we still allowing ourselves to go further into debt by rewarding corrupt foreign governments that tolerate terrorism within their borders? When churches are burned, women and girls are abducted, and terrorists operate with near impunity, that is not merely an internal disturbance, it is a direct assault on the freedoms our nation nation claims to defend, which our foreign assistance must reflect and uphold. This is not about punishing the Nigerian people. It is about demanding accountability for their government's complacency and ensuring that our foreign aid is leveraged to defend, reflect, and uphold American values. Even the underlying bill recognizes the Nigerian government's failure to meet the standard, yet it still allows for half of the funding to be released anyways. My amendment withholds all funds until they meet basic standards. Accountability can never be divided, nor should we allow anyone to exploit the generosity of the American taxpayer. I urge my colleagues to uphold accountability in our foreign aid spending and to vote for my amendment. I reserve.
Now, when we don't hear the updates, we don't hear from the man, the question remains, do you think that this very strategy is going to trigger, is going to motivate, or is going to enforce Tinubu's government to end the genocide going on in Nigeria? Please drop your opinion in the comment section. Let us see reactions coming from Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ngozi Orabueze on this update, including what other people don't talk. So this is how Dr. Ngozi reacted to this very update. According to her, she said, "Congratulations, the United States of Biafra Christian nation wins big again. Nothing can stop the absolute collapse of the terrorist state of Nigeria with its terrorist political parties and the politicians like Peter Obi, Bianca Ono-Ojukwu, Tinubu, Christopher Musa, Peter Mba, Akpabio, Waisin Wike, Charles Soludo, Hope Uzodinma, and the rest of them. No sane leader invests in a country that reintegrates and rehabilitates non-terrorists into its military and police." So you can see that Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, she's actually happy with this update because she believes that with this update, Haji Tinubu very, very well. That they're holding Tinubu administration very tight on their neck, and with this, they can be able to do their bidding, which is ending the Christian genocide going on in Nigeria. She's not the only one that is happy about this update. So many Nigerians, so many Biafrans are actually happy. Let me share with you some of reactions, and trust me, some of them made sense. There are some points that they made here that made me to bring it here so that we can see, read it out, look deep into it. Then you go drop me your opinion whether you believe that this move where Donald Trump made today, whether it go yet fruit over Christian genocide in Nigeria. The first person here said, "Thanks so much, Congressman Rep. Primo, for all you do and doing for Nigeria, more especially the persecuted Christian. We love and appreciate you, and I believe and do know that history will be kind to you. Thank you. Thank you so much, and God bless you, sir." The second said, "May God continue to bless, protect, and preserve you always for all you have done and have been doing to protect persecuted Christians in Nigeria." This person here said, "Any country that is supporting Nigeria is a terrorist country, and whosoever that are waiting for the change of the zoo Nigeria is wasting their time." This person not really believe, say, this thing where the US did free end the Christian genocide. Let's continue. This person here have an entire opinion differently from what other people they talk. They said they should support Biafra freedom from Nigeria. That's exactly what I want to hear. This person here said something different. This person said, "Nigerians, you cannot rise up to challenge evil. You are waiting for a white man to do it for you, and tomorrow you will say, God created all men equal. Rubbish. The whites are your God." And this person here said, "Toothless bulldog, plenty talk with no action. You people are just useless." I don't want to pronounce it right because of YouTube guideline. I pray that the hopeless and cowardly Nigerians can rise up for a revolution. There is no other way, but they won't because they are trapped in a British zoo. What an abomination of a country. My people, in as much that many people believe that this very step that the US took against Nigeria government is going to make them, in fact, it's going to force them to do the needful. But I don't know why I'm having doubt about this, because knowing the kind of people these people be, more especially Tinubu's administration, I don't think, this is my own personal opinion, I don't think that this thing is going to have any effect on Tinubu's government. I don't think it's going to make them to step up and end this Christian genocide because they knows their sponsor very well. And I believe in Hannah Pate is gonna be his business. They are making money. They are making money. Okay, look at what happened in Oyo State. Look at the drama upon drama, to the point that Oyo State governor have to write to UN. Yes, so in case you never see that update, Governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, wrote to United Nations that they should enter Nigeria. They should come and investigate the kidnap what happened in Oyo State. That is not sure that na pure kidnap, because the way when they see everything, it be like saying a script they play. For a sitting governor to be saying this thing, are you telling me that he's not happy that those innocent children are back? But I believe he don't do plus and minus for him to be saying this thing. So my people, this is my own doubt. This is my own opinion. Please, I don't know what you think. If you believe that this can help, chicken now wetin we dey pray for? Anything we go end this massacre where they go on in Nigeria. Now human being can every day. So tell me what you think in the comment section about the latest action where Donald Trump don't take against Nigeria government. Do you think it's going to have any effect on them or not? Drop your opinion, because I'll be going under the comments to read what you wrote in the comment section.
That is it, my people. We have come back. That is a very powerful talk from Gregory Stube from the U.S. Congress House. That is a very powerful talk, and we believe that his talk and his move is going to end this Christian genocide that is happening in Nigeria, and also to end the injustice that is happening in the country. And also we are expecting the release of Mazen Kanu and also the freedom of Biafra. That is what we are expecting, not only the issue of Christian genocide, because there's a lot of things that is going on in the country, but the government of Nigeria, they are hiding it. They are hiding it every time. They are hiding every time, so that the outside world will not hear it. And that is the main reason why they are paying every day, so that they will stop everybody that is talking against this injustice. Just listen from the United Nations, where they are debating concerning this issue of Christian genocide that is happening in Nigeria. That prompts the U.S. Congress to start making this speech they are making today. Just watch by yourself, then you will understand what is really going on in the world. That Nigerian issue, they are discussing and they are debating about Nigerian issue every day around the world. As I'm watching, and I would like to hear your comments and like to hear your feeling. What do you think about your thing going on in the country?
The violence in Nigeria is driven by disputes over land and water, climate change, poverty, criminality, weak governance, persistent impunity, and deep-rooted religious, ethnic, and intercommunal tensions. Together, these pressures have fueled a brutal cycle of revenge, and breaking that cycle requires more than expressions of outrage. To the colleagues who rightly demand the protection of Christian communities in Nigeria, I ask to look at the actions of your global conservative allies. Last year, Trump dismantled USAID with enormous consequences in Nigeria. Hundreds of schools in conflict-affected areas were closed. 1/5 of the national healthcare budget was taken away. Imagine the consequences on maternal health and on the fight against HIV. Conservatives have defunded the very local networks, many of them Christian faith-based healthcare providers that offered a front line against poverty and radicalization. I call on the EU to be a committed partner in supporting humanitarian aid, conflict prevention, justice reform and climate resilience, and on the Nigerian authorities to protect all civilians, and on my colleagues to also make sure that right-wing populism doesn't cut away international aid. Thank you.
I want to show that there are members from the left side taking position on this conflict, but I want to refer to an amendment by the Patriots, because you are calling the situation genocidal characteristics, so you worry about the Christians and you also want to protect them. So my question to you, goes your Christian charity that far that you would grant asylum or refugee status to those who are persecuted?
The next speaker on Catch the Eye is Sebastian Tinkinen. Thank you, President. We must start talking about one thing: Christianophobia. I know it is not as trending as defending Islam in this chamber, but for once, could we pay attention to what is happening to Christians in Nigeria? In rural villages, believers have been attacked, displaced and killed by armed extremist actors like Boko Haram and other jihadist militias. It is no coincidence that the persecution of Nigerian Christians is heavily concentrated in the country's northern regions, a region where several states have Muslim majorities and have adopted Sharia law. This House simply cannot look away. It must find its backbone and defend the Christian world globally and in Europe as well, because the Christian world is worth defending. Thank you.
The next speaker and last speaker under Catch the Eye is Lukas Sieper.
Thank you, Ms. President. You already noted it. I also want to make it very clear to the colleagues of the ECR, or I don't know, PFE, that the colleague, when asked about the religious development of Islam, said they spend a lot of time with goats. That's his statement. Just take this in for today. This debate was used not to stand up for Christians. This debate was used for political maneuvering, for attacking the political enemy, instead of caring about the people. And for that, I just want to reply with the words of Christ. You have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies. Bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who mistreat you and persecute you, that you may be children of your Father in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on the evil and the good, and sends rain on the just and the unjust. For if you love those who love you, what reward do you have? If you only greet your friends, what more do you do than others? Christianity is a religion of love and not of hate. Hear this from a Christian man. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now I pass the floor to our Commissioner Dubravka-Šuica.
Thank you, Chair, honourable members of the Parliament. At the end of this debate, the European Union would like to express its solidarity with the victims of massacres and abductions committed in Nigeria, as well as with their families enduring grief and suffering. The European Union strongly condemns these cruel attacks targeting vulnerable populations across the country. Nigeria has been facing systematic insecurity affecting Christians and Christian communities and places of worship. It is important to bear in mind that violence in Nigeria cuts across ethno-religious boundaries, with victims coming from all faiths and backgrounds. The recent attack on Kabel village in Plateau State cost the lives of 21 people. Although the victims belonged to a Christian community and the offenders were of Fulani Muslim origin, the underlying conflict does not only have a religious dimension. It is also closely related to extended fights between farmers and herders, intensified by shrinking agricultural land, difficult access to resources and political tensions. During her recent visit to Nigeria on March 23rd, HRVP Callas delivered the message of support to Nigerian authorities engaged in a difficult fight against Boko Haram and other extremist groups. She stressed the complexity of this phenomenon of violence with its deep-rooted socio-economic, political and historical dimensions. She pledged to continue stepping up EU-Nigeria cooperation against terrorism and violent extremism and strengthening the whole of society approach for the prevention of violence and conflict in Nigeria. While keeping our strong commitment to religious freedom and non-discrimination, we must support Nigerian voices calling for sustainable peace and opposing the stigmatization of specific communities. Over the last years, the European Union has taken action to address the dire situation in Nigeria. Together with its member states, it has implemented many projects on prevention of violence, peace building and support of populations affected by violence. The European Union has acted to promote dialogue in Nigeria and kept a regular dialogue with its religious leaders from all faiths. The European Union stands ready to work alongside Nigerian authorities and international partners to strengthen the protection of vulnerable communities in Nigeria, of course, including Christians. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Die Aussprache ist nun geschlossen. Es wurden 6 Entschließungsanträge eingereicht und die Abstimmung wird morgen stattfinden.
You said Nigeria would not survive. Why do you have that notion? Because every country has its challenges and Nigeria is managing hers. So why would you think the country would not survive and the only way to go is, to grant you autonomy?
Because Nigeria is not a country. Nigeria is not a nation. Nigeria is an economic enterprise set up by the British to serve a particular need and interest. No time did people from Nigeria get together to decide to be called Nigeria. No time did they get together to decide to form a nation or a country. That is an illusion. In 1914, a man called Rick Lugard decided on his own, working to further British interest in West Africa, decided to amalgamate the North and the South. The North was very poor, and sadly they have remained poor till this very day. There is nothing anyone can do about it. So Nigeria as a country, Nigeria referred to as a nation, is an anomaly. Nigeria had never been a country, and it will never ever be a country. What we are asking for is a recognition of our way of life and existence before the advent of the white man, and that is something we are determined to accomplish, regardless of the obstacle, in terms of sacrifice, both human and material. Everything will be committed into accomplishing this one divine feat, and Biafra must and will be restored, I assure you.
Away from Nigeria's history, your survival of the Operation Python Dance seems to be shrouded in mystery. A lot of people wondered how you were able to escape out of Nigeria, despite the staccato of bullets and, of course, the carnage that followed it. How were you able to escape?
I was evacuated. I think the word escape is exaggerated. The military operation in my house was illegal. It was a state-sanctioned attempt to assassinate me and assassinate the rest of my family along with some of my men. 28 people died in that very horrific attempt to try to take my life away from me extrajudicially, I hasten to add. That is one thing that is lost on Nigerians. I quite recognize the need to condemn what is happening in South Africa, which I have done myself personally. But I also want those who are rising up today in condemnation of what is happening in South Africa to also rise up and very vocally and vociferously condemn the rule of impunity under this very same Fulani cabal headed by Jubril Aminu al-Sudani from Sudan, because everybody knows that Buhari is no more. Now, what is happening is that when you do not have regard for your own so-called citizens, when you have no regard for life and property, when you are an advocate of the misrule or misapplication of law, whatever happens to you outside is what you have basically brought upon yourself. That is why Nigerians should not actually be in a position to offer any condemnation, because they themselves are living in purgatory and they have not been able to rise above their limited understanding of the issues around them.
We are no longer missing words. It cannot happen. More so when this young man is being kept in detention unjustly. The facts are there, unjustly. So that woman is not even talking properly, telling me it's not for. If Tinubu does not release this Nnamdi Kanu, on what ground will he come to campaign and ask the Igbos
for vote? Should he be campaigning with the life of the man in the first instance?
No, whether it is or not, is that what this one he's doing in the north and every other place? What is it for?
But Barrister Darlington,
yes.
Nnamdi Kanu was in prison. Tinubu became the president. He was in prison also when Buhari was there, and nothing really happened. And we have Igbos who have Southeastern as politicians actually not saying anything about that, to the point that they were even campaigning also for all these people. Nnamdi Kanu was in prison, and Tinubu was conferred a title by the Anambra State people just when he went there to confer or to inaugurate a project in that state. So are we seeing, the politicians in Igbo land now not still going on with playing their interests against the release of Nnamdi Kanu?
Nobody can blame the Ohanese or any Southeasterner for Nnamdi Kanu's detention, because they have done everything. It's on record. From Buhari to Tinubu, Igbo leaders have gone to Aso Rock to plead for his release. What's her name? Hazilike, before he died, that first Republic aviation minister, he pleaded that, look, let it be the last wish they can grant him. Nobody listened to him. Ohanese have gone to this leader when they were in Aso Rock and why they are still there today. So on what ground will you not blame our Igbo leaders? What do you want them to do? To carry guns? So then not prove true. It was Tinubu that released Shawore from detention for his treasonable felony charge, allegation by Buhari government. Is that not true? It was Tinubu that released Shawore. Was it Tinubu that put Shawore in detention? No, it was Tinubu that released Sunday Igboho. So why is it not becoming different?
All right.
So why would anybody now come and say that he's not Tinubu? All the other cases that Tinubu inherited, why can't you say no, I will not entertain them?
But Barrister, looking at the way this court trial, I know this is the first time Nnamdi Kanu has been tried in court. You recall that he was just there behind bars, sitting or languishing there in DSS custody. But now with this president, the case have been taken to court, tried, to the point that the federal government have, they've closed their own case now, waiting for a cross-examination and all that. Now, isn't this more like a good way in the right direction for the issue between federal government and Nnamdi Kanu to come to an end?
Is that not what we have been asking for? All this time that they were kept in detention for nothing.
But now that a son, a viable Igbo son, I'm talking about Dave Umahi, who also happens to be Nnamdi Kanu's case, but is saying something about divine grace and dialogue and intervention to be the only way forward.
The matter have gone to court. We don't even need to beg anybody, because the facts on ground does not show that Nnamdi Kanu is guilty.
All right then.
Yes, the matter has gone to court and we didn't stop with it. We have been very peaceful about this thing. Many regions in this country, or many tribes, they will not tolerate it because it's an insult. That the court have even said that they should release Nnamdi Kanu. Yet the federal government sat on the case. Is an insult or not? All right. But we kept quiet. So let the needful be done.
I want to think that the Southeast mass who is going to vote for Tinubu in 2020.
It can never happen. Look,
Joseph Kanu said, I'm working seriously to ensure that at their state votes Southeast. Hope votes Tinubu. Hope Uzodinma is there, APC. Wifuru is there, APC. Tupu Masoludo has been supporting the president, APC.
It is not possible.
And that is neither here nor there. Nobody knows what will happen before 2027. So the site is also captured by the APC.
Mr. Okoro, you don't know the Igbo man, though. You know, the mistake these people are making is because they don't understand the people they are leading, they are supposed to be leading. The Igbo man is independent minded. Is that not a fact?
Okay.
Good. You cannot, lead him like a goat. So go and eat grass somewhere. He will tell you, no, that's not what I want. The Igbo man, I know. They are going to disappoint all these governors. Just wait. It's not that one that INEC will see somewhere and write vote for people like Hope Uzodinma and all that. No, it's going to be different. Remember what the North said. That is why I wanted their own to challenge Tinubu. Let me see how the North will allow Tinubu to rig election again, because they are very clear. If this election is rigged again, there will be no Nigeria. So let me see how any next chairman will go and rig election in favor of Tinubu. If that's what they are banking on, it can never happen. So in a free and fair election, the Igbo man will never vote Tinubu or APC. We did it to Buhari, we do it again to Tinubu. Because one What do we have? What inheritance do we have in Tinubu? What is that thing? One single thing Tinubu has done for the Igbo man that will say, yes, this one. In fact,
I understand that there are lots of federal projects in the Southeast now initiated by the current president.
Initiated, I mean.
Yes. And undergoing.
Hold on. The Southeast Development Commission.
Okay, he's the one that signed it into law.
Listen very well. A lawmaker, or didn't you hear him, was challenging that why is it that all the other development commissions are working, but that of the East, not even money for any project there. And that of all the dams in Nigeria, it is that of Iho Dam that they were giving zero allocation. Did you not hear that in the House of Reps the other day? Did you not hear that? So what is that thing that will make you believe that Tinubu even have any regard for the Igbo man or Southeast that will make me vote for him? Is that not a pointer? Look at all the or somewhere in the north. In fact, that of everything is Southwest. Even the north are complaining. Is that not true? So on what basis now will any Southeasterner vote for Tinubu?
Oh yes, this is Barrister Darrington. He's a outspoken man. He talks the truth all the time, and that is a man of the people. That is a sign to tell you that he's a man that listens to the cry of the masses. What those APC Tinubu, what they know is about their 2027 election, how they are going to get vote, how they are going to win the election, no matter how it is. If you like, let everybody in the Nigeria die overnight. It doesn't concern them. What concerns them is their 2027 election, and anybody that will even stop it, that will make sure that the person goes down. That is it, and that is why you see they are fighting P2B front and back just to make sure that he did not succeed in his 2027 election. That is how it is. Then going down to the EU, European Union, you all have seen what they are debating about and what they are saying concerning Nigerian issue, concerning this old Christian genocide and the buying of Christian everywhere in the country. In fact, and they at the end, the Nigerian government, they are not even listening to the masses. What they are concerned about is how they are going to make their 27 election. That is all. And I think and I believe, had it been is not the arrival of IPOB, the Southeast would have been the epicenter of all this issue of buying every day. Because if you look at it very well, the governors of the eastern states, of the Southeast states, they don't even care about their own citizens. They don't even care. What they are so submissive is as rock, is the power in the top. That is the people that they are hearing from. But if you come to their own people, they don't even care about it. What they know is about power, how they are going to get power, how they are going to be there. And like what the Anambra state governor is doing now, Soludo, all his trying and all his campaign is how you campaign for Tinubu and how you will destroy P2B, doing all up and down everything, and that is how all of them is. So in fact, it's all about power every time. They don't know how about the poor people is going to survive and how the people they are leading is going to survive in this country. That is why you see the Nigerian country is going down every day by day. And the solution is one thing: divided nation, let the Igbo to go, and also let those who want to be allow people to have their own freedom, not subjugating them into something that they do not believe and something that they don't want. That is not the way forward. I would like your comment and like, subscribe and share for everyone to see things happening in the country. So thank you for watching.